I wanted the theme song like Tanika. Your theme song was great when you walked on New York. Uh, Let me say this. You know, people often look at the fact, I'm the 110th mayor of the city of New York, the most important city on the globe, former borough president, the first African American to hold that position, state senator, captain of the New York City Police Department. That's my glory. It's not my story. And oftentimes people define us by the glorious moments and not the moments that really define you as a person. Growing up in South Jamaica, Queens, sitting in the classroom, and I remember when the alarm clock used to go off in the morning, and I would ask myself, why are you putting yourself through this? Or when the teacher would look over at me and ask me to stand up and read, how that knot would find its place in my stomach because the children would write on the back of my chair, the dumb student, and they would laugh as I stumbled over the words, trying to understand what was wrong with me. And because I just didn't believe in school anymore, I decided that, why not just go to the streets? And many of you are too young or young to remember of the illegal number game. I was the top illegal number runner at 12 in South Jamaica, Queens. Fell on the wrong side of the law and got arrested. And there were moments when I just felt rejected by the society that I am in. And that is why you have 40% of the peoples on Rikers Island are dyslexic, 40%. But the moment in January 1st, 2022, when I got elected to become the mayor, people who were in these places of uncertainty, they saw someone go from being dyslexic, arrested, rejected. Now I'm elected to be the mayor of the city of New York. That's a powerful moment. But what does it say? It says what my mother told me, baby, you're going to find yourself in dark places. You determine if the dark place is a burial or a planting. And I brought with me in City Hall those dark places, and we're turning them into plantings. We are looking at how do we take our young people and tell them, you don't have to shrink in the chair when it's time for you to read. We're going to give you the tools so that your ending story is not Rikers Island. And we're going to do so much more. Because when you learn phonics, which Chancellor Banks is about to roll out, it helps every child. Because there's something happening in our country. I want to conclude with this. The Maasai tribe in Africa, when they greet each other, they ask the question, how are the children? Based on a response, it determines the success of the tribe. Now I want to ask you, and let's be honest, and not what you verbalize, but what you think. How are the children? Young people are carving highways of death with 9mm bullets, killing other young people. TikTok is teaching our children how to steal cars. They're playing TikTok in America that you can't play in China where it was created. Suicide rates are up among young people, their thoughts at 9 years old. Our children are starting their school day on the way to school, purchasing cannabis, fentanyl overdoses are on the increase. Our young girls are defining themselves by the images of social media. They no longer believe that they're beautiful. How are the children? And if the children are not fine, we can't blame the children. We have to blame ourselves. I want to change that question mark into an exclamation point and say that what we do in City Hall, our children are going to be fine. I know I'm preaching to the choir because you're doing it already because you're here. This is choir practice. Because too many people are singing off key out there. We need to mobilize and energize ourselves to save our babies. You're doing it with literacy. We need to do it in every aspect of our children. And then we can join the Maasai tribe. And when people come visit New York City and they ask us, how are our children? We can say, our children are fine. Thank you for what you're doing.